Hey guys, how are you doing? It's CryptoinsightUK here, bringing you back another video. Today we're going to be looking at some key take profit areas for XRP, in my opinion, and levels that other traders are going to be looking at to potentially deleverage, whether they're XRP holders in general or people who are just trading the market generally. Then I'm going to talk to you about my take profit plan, in inverted commas, and put that in inverted commas because it's very subject to change, and I'll get into that later on in this video as to why. I'll give you some ideas now. Well, I might not go straight into dollars. There's potential I'm going to cycle into other assets depending on what's happening with the market. But yeah, they're the main reasons why it's pretty subjective and could potentially change. And subjective in the fact that my take profit target is personal to me. And this is something that a lot of people need to understand. When you're looking at take profit targets, when you make profits in crypto, nothing is real until you cash it out into whatever you need to cash it out into, whether that's fiat currency or you like diversify it into commodities or equities or property or anything that you might think is going to be a valuable asset in the future. All of it is just paper gains until it is traded into some other asset. So bear that in mind. Whether you think XRP is going to go up a lot in the long term or not, always have a plan that can help you for the future. If we do start to see some price levels that you might want, always have a plan for that. And then take into consideration that the market doesn't care what you want. The prices of the market are going to react in certain ways, just depending on how the market behaves generally. Doesn't matter what you want or feel. So there's the start of this video, I guess. So getting into it, I'm just going to start with some short-term price action. These are areas that traders are going to be looking at to be deleveraging, taking some profits. If they're in swing trades right now, if they've entered short-term trading positions, traders will be looking between the 75 cent and the 91 cent. There's some gaps here, which basically is where we haven't seen many candle bodies close. We then also got gaps up here at 119 to 146, and then another open gap here from 160 up to 190, and then one near the all-time high from 270 to 350. So these are areas, if you're trading the short term, you might want to keep your eye on these areas. This is where we could find some turbulence for XRP and some heavy resistance levels. Now I'm going to use the Fibonacci retracement tool to give us a bit of an idea of where we could look to take some profits in the near future. I'm just going to use the recent high to the recent low to give us an idea of where the first potential impulsive run could take us. These are the areas that I'm going to be targeting on the short term. So the 702 and 786 between here is where we will know if we're performing a retracement for a further leg down or whether we're going to continue for a high. They're pretty close to the all-time highs anyway. So anywhere between that 150 and 164 area is where a lot of people are going to be looking to take profits. Then we're looking at 1.618, around $3, again within that area that I was talking about before where there's still some open gaps. And then around 480, 650, and around 750 as well. So these are definitely areas I will be looking to take some XRP off the table. I'll probably take a tiny bit in the 150 to 160 range, and then I'll take a little bit more around the all-time highs 310, a little bit more at 470, a little bit at 670, and a little bit at 770. Now I'm going to extend this Fibonacci retracement tool to the all-time high and the recent low that was set, well not the recent low, but the low that was set back in the previous bear market of 2020. Why am I doing this? Well, XRP, whether you like it or not, missed out on the last bull run. We presume it's because we were being stifled by the SEC and that stopped us from really reaching our all-time highs. However, there is no proof as to whether we would have pushed higher than this had we not been in the SEC lawsuit. We can speculate that we would, but there's no proof because that was the reality that we lived in. People like to use the Fibonacci extension tool to give us a projection of where cryptocurrencies are going to go, and I'm going to relate this to Bitcoin and Ethereum in where they went in their recent cycles to give us an idea of where we might be able to head for XRP. But firstly, if we look for a 4.236 extension, it's going to take us all the way out here to $14.90, and the 3.618 is going to take us all the way out to $12.79. The 2.618 takes us to $9.12. So I'm personally looking for a top between $10 and $13 in this cycle. By the time we get to $10 and $13, I will personally be 65% out of my XRP bag, maybe more depending on what I think is happening within the cycle. I'm going to quickly now look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, as I said, to see where they got in their last cycle, because I can get even more speculative than this, and I don't think it's moon boyish. I'm just explaining all the options here. So this is me applying the Fibonacci retracement tool to Bitcoin from the 2017 high and the 2018 low. As you can see, Bitcoin executed a perfect 3.618 extension. That's where it really found some major resistance, pulled back down to the 1.618 and pushed up just above 3.618, but not actually managing to reach the 4.236 extension, which would have been at $75,000. However, from Bitcoin's previous all-time high around $20,000, we did push all the way up, as I said, to the $69,000 region. XRP missed out on this complete run. That would be an appreciation of around 247% from Bitcoin's all-time high of 2017. If XRP was to do a similar move, let's see where we would get out to. If XRP pushed 247% from its previous all-time high, it would take us exactly where we were looking. This is how these Fibonacci retracement tools work. They're essentially percentage retracements and extensions of the previous cycle. So 247% would take us nicely into the 3.618 and the $12.50 region. If you go slightly above that, just like Bitcoin did, we could be looking around $12.70, $13. So this is one of the reasons I'm attacking that $13 range. If we then do the same thing with Ethereum, drawing on the Fibonacci retracement tool, taking it from the 2017 or 2018 high, should I say, as it's January the 1st, I think, really late 2017, and then the 2018 low to the 2021 high, we actually had a Fibonacci retracement of 3.618 and all the way out to around $4,900, nearly $5,000. If we made the same or similar move with XRP, where would it take us to? It would take us out to around $12.71, $12.80. So again, within the $10 to $13 range, this is why I'm attacking these target ranges. Now this is where I'm going to get a little bit more speculative, and you're going to have to stay with me on this one. So as I've said, I will be around 65% out of my XRP position by $10 to $13, depending on the market, maybe more or less, and whether I go into cash or not is completely dependent on what's happening at the time, and I'll keep you more up to date with that. I will go into that in another video, I think, because it's going to get too long else. If we then look at what Bitcoin could potentially do in this next cycle, I'm going to leave that last Fibonacci retracement tool in there, because in a minute I'm going to show you something. If we presume the bottom is already in here for Bitcoin, let's have a look at where we could potentially go in this cycle if we use the same tools to project where Bitcoin's top may be. If we had the same 3.618 extension, Bitcoin would be actually reaching all the way out there to around $209,000. And if we went for the 4.236, it will be about $243,000. As you can clearly see, and I've just shown you here with Fibonacci retracements and extensions right there. I'm going to do exactly the same thing now on Ethereum, just to show you, presuming again that this is the bottom for Ethereum. I'm going to show you exactly where we reach out to if we made the same sort of extension again with Ethereum. We'd be looking all the way out to $15,000 per ETH, up to $17,000 to $18,000 per Ethereum. This is where we can get quite speculative on XRP, because let's say we were suppressed by the SEC with the SEC lawsuit, and we should have reached out to the 4.236 or the 3.618 as both Ethereum and Bitcoin did. In this cycle, is it possible that XRP tries to catch up with the moves that they made not only in the last cycle, but also the moves that they're going to make potentially in this cycle as well? As I said, this is speculative, but let's have a look at what we think could happen with XRP should that be the case. So when Bitcoin pulled back from its all-time high, if we use Fibonacci retracements, it pulled back between the 702 and 786. And when ETH pulled back in its retracements, it pulled all the way down to the 0.618 level. If we imagine XRP went all the way out to the 3.618 and then pulled back anywhere between the 618 and the 786, so we'll go just above the 618 to give us a conservative target of what this potential move could look like should it be the same. So it would look like this, boom, into here. So if you can imagine that these candles actually did reach up to these levels, came down and retraced a similar distance to what Bitcoin and Ethereum did, and then go to push on to their 3.618 or 4.236, that would mean we could see a $40 to $46 price potentially on a really brilliant run for XRP this cycle. Now I know a lot of people are going to get in the comments and give me hate for this, but I'm literally just showing you exactly what is potential for Bitcoin and Ethereum, what they did in the last cycle, and applying that same logic to XRP, which actually has been consolidating for 5 years, nearly 6 years now. For those of you who think that it might be impossible, let's just have a little look at what XRP did in the 2017 cycle, from the 2013 highs to lows, bang, up to the 4.236 consolidation and push on. It actually completed 2 Fibonacci retracements and extensions in that last run. So is it possible for XRP to do the same thing again? History is saying that it is possible. So to all those out there hating on XRP because it's been suppressed and consolidating for so long, is this possible for this cycle? I'm not saying that I think it's definitely going to happen. I'm just saying that it's definitely a possibility. From this, you can start to build some sort of take profit plan. If you think you put a logical take profit plan on it and you think that the higher prices are much less likely than the lower prices, which is what someone who has a logical thought process on the price action would do, then you can start to ladder in some take profits up until the prices that we can literally see here. As I said, I'm 65% out between by $10 to $13. I'm going to be laddering out at different prices. I may take some at all-time high. I may even take some just in here at 160 odd. I'll definitely be taking some around $5 or $6, and then some more 8, 9, 10, 13. More chunks as we get higher up. This isn't because I don't believe in XRP long term. It's because I've learned from the last cycle, when you have paper gains, they mean nothing if the price then comes down and you haven't taken anything. So I'm super aware of that. Having been through 2 cycles now, that is something that's really at the front of my mind. I will take profits when I get them. I won't get myself completely out of the market, because if we go all the way up to $45, on the off chance that we do that, I want to be sitting with some XRP to be able to cash out along the way. I'm going to make a more in-depth video as to what I might take profits into in another video. I was going to do it all in one, but I actually think that 2 videos is probably better for something like this now, because there are other areas where I think that you can make gains. And I also want to show you the power of compounding profits rather than just taking it all into USD and then obviously relying on the strength of the dollar or fiat currency, or having to pay specific taxes depending on what jurisdictions you're in, etc. But these are my thoughts for now. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoy the video, please share it. If you've got any thoughts on this, this is just purely TA and speculation. It's not what I think is necessarily going to happen. It's just what the charts are saying. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. As I said, please share it with a friend, comment and like it if you did. That would really help me out, and I look forward to sharing my next video with you. If you are interested in hearing about my next video, please let me know exactly what you want to hear in the comments below. Peace.